Hello everyone! Today in this video I will be talking about 30 different phrases we use when we go to the airport. So, as we all know, the airport can be a very large and confusing place to be, especially if you do not have a lot of experience with traveling. So this video is for you. First of all, before we even get to the airport, we need to find a way how to get there. So option one, you can drive your own vehicle. However, we often have to pay quite a bit of money to store our vehicle in the airport parking lot for the duration of our visit. So the second option is taking a taxi to the airport, because in many places the other ways of public transportation do not actually go all the way to the airport. So when we take a taxi, there are a few things that we can ask or tell the taxi driver before we actually go to the airport. Number one, we can say, I need to catch a flight. How far is the airport from here? So then the taxi driver can tell you the approximate distance, how long it will take to get there, and then the taxi driver will also know that your purpose of going to this airport is because you are getting a flight. Number two, I'm going to the domestic or international airport. So often we can have either one. Domestic airport just flies within the country, and the international airport will fly outside of the country. So it depends where you live. Some places, some countries, they do have both, and they are very far away from each other. Or some places, the two options of domestic and international travel will be in the same airport. But we should always tell the taxi driver exactly what kind of flight we are having so that they know where to drop us off at the airport. Number three, we could also just tell them I have a flight to, and say whatever the destination is. I have a flight to Mexico. I have a flight to Tokyo. It just gives them even more information. It might not be necessary to say exactly where you're going to. However, it's still good information to give to the driver, just in case. Then when we actually get to the airport, there can be many difficulties, problems, or just some questions that we might have. So these next phrases are for when we're actually at the airport. So number four, I need to check in. So usually we will see the big screen that shows all of the flight numbers, and it will show you the check-in gate where you have to go. So you simply just go to the airport, you get there, you look at this screen, and hopefully you will find your flight and find the gate that you have to go to check in. However, it has happened to me before actually that I was looking at this big screen and I did not see my flight on there. So this can happen as well. And if it does happen, we can just ask them, where is the check-in counter for this flight? And you can show the person working there exactly what flight you have, and then they will direct you where you have to go. In my case, I was actually at the wrong place in the airport, so I had to go to a whole other terminal that was quite far away before I could find my flight. Always ask if you have an issue. Do not just wait. Number six, can I have a window seat, please? So the window seat of the airplane, as it's stated in its name, is seated right beside the window. So you can look out and see the city from a very high view. Number seven, is there an aisle seat available? So some people, they prefer the aisle seat instead. This is the seat right next to the aisle where we can walk out and go to the toilets or just walk around and stretch our legs. It depends on the flight, I think. If it is a very short flight, then maybe I will choose the window seat. But if it is a longer flight, then maybe I will want the aisle seat instead. Nobody wants the middle seat, so nobody asks for this one. Number 8, I have one piece of carry-on luggage. So they will often ask you how much carry-on luggage you have or how much check-in luggage you have. So you can tell them, I have one carry-on and one check-in. Number 9, I need to check in my bag. So if you have a very big suitcase with many things that we cannot bring in through the security checkpoint, then maybe we will just have them check it in instead. But remember, whenever you check in the bag, you have to remember to get it at your destination before you leave the airport. Some people forget. Number 10, here's my boarding pass. So when we are finished at the check-in counter, the person working there will give us this piece of paper as our boarding pass. This is extremely important. We cannot lose it or else we are in big, big trouble. So often when we go to security, when we get to the security checkpoint, then they will ask to see the boarding pass and passport, just to make sure that you are actually on this flight. Number 11, where is the security checkpoint? Again, some airports are huge and it's really hard to find where things are. I've been lost in airports many, many times because I'm terrible at directions. But anyways, we should always ask. If we can't find where something is, just ask, where is da-da-da? And then somebody will be sure to help you. Number 12, do I need to take out my laptop? So this is when we're actually at the security checkpoint. They all have different rules, but most of the time you will have to take out your laptop from your bag and put it in a separate container. Number 13, do I need to take off my shoes? Again, every airport has different rules when it comes to security, so it's really hard to know. Often in the airports in Asia, it's usually required to take off your shoes, but in the American airports, it's usually not very common, but really it just depends on the airport. Number 14, what time does my flight board? So this information will be on your boarding pass. However, if you have a hard time reading or maybe you still don't understand exactly what it says on the boarding pass, you are always free to ask whoever is working around you what time is the boarding time. Number 15, where is my departure gate? So the departure gate is just where your plane will leave from. So it's very important to know this information. It does say on your boarding pass, but as I said before, some airports are massive and very confusing. So it is always okay just to ask whoever is working around you where you have to go. Number 16, is my flight on time or is it delayed? So a flight being delayed just means it will be a bit later than the time it was said to be before. So again, we can just ask this for reassurance. Is my flight on time? Will everything be okay? Or did something happen? In today's world, we usually get notified by email or through text if our flight is delayed, but just for extra reassurance, again, it never hurts to ask. Number 17, I need to go through customs. So customs is just the immigration. So we have to go through this for international flights. If you are flying from one country to another country, then we often have to go through customs to make sure that you have all the proper documents, the visas if needed, and so on. Number 18, where is the baggage claim area? The baggage claim area is simply where we go to pick up our checked-in luggage. 19. I need to pick up my luggage. I just need to get the luggage that was checked in earlier. 20. Where can I find a taxi? This can be very confusing. I actually just went through this 2 days ago. I had a really hard time finding any kind of taxi that would take me to the hotel. So again, we should just ask, where can I find a taxi? Especially if it's really, really busy at that time, it can be difficult or take some time to do this. 21, is there a shuttle to the city center? So a shuttle would just be some kind of public bus that you could take, or maybe a train that we could take to get to the main city center. So people would ask this if you want to save some money on taxis, then you can choose this option instead. Number 22, where is the rental car counter? So a rental car is just the car that you will rent for the period of your stay. So you'll just pay some money per day to use it, and then after your vacation is over, you will make sure to go to this place and drop off the car. And then that's it. Some people really enjoy doing this on holiday. It depends where you go. I usually travel within Asia, so there's no way I'm driving any car in Asia because the traffic is crazy. But it depends where you are, where you're going, or what your travel will be like. Number 23, can I get a map of the airport? So if you are terrible at directions, like I am, it can be very beneficial to have a map of the airport to see where everything is and where you need to go. Number 24, is there a smoking area? So some people really like to smoke their cigarettes. It's a very bad habit. Don't do it. Anyways, some people really feel they need to smoke a cigarette after the flight is over, so there are often a few different smoking areas in the airport. So you can ask somebody where the nearest one would be. 25, do you have free Wi-Fi? Again, it depends. Most airports do have free Wi-Fi. However, I have been in the problematic situation where I have not been able to access any free Wi-Fi a few times. So it is good to ask somebody if they know. Number 26, where is the nearest restroom? So restroom just means bathroom or toilet. They're all the same, but at the airport we often call them the restroom instead. 27, is there a restaurant nearby? So many people are very hungry after a flight because I don't know about you, but I do not like the airplane food at all. So I will often not eat anything until I get to the next airport. So it is good to know. Usually they do have many options for restaurants or small cafes as well. But it depends. If you are unlucky and you're flying in the middle of the night, then they are all closed, usually. Number 28, can I get a coffee somewhere? Again, this is similar to the restaurant, but you're just asking where is the closest coffee shop. Number 29, I need to charge my phone. So this is another very common problem many people, including myself, have. If you use your phone for most of the flight, usually we don't have the chargers on the flight. So we need to find some kind of way to charge your phone at the airport. Number 30, thank you for your assistance. So this is the same as thank you for your help, but assistance is just a fancier word for help. So you can say either one. Thank you for your help or thank you for your assistance. Again, this is just to show gratitude towards whoever helped you. We should always do this in our life, no matter what. I always say thank you to anybody who helps me for anything. It's just good manners to have. Those are my 30 phrases for going to the airport. These phrases can effectively help you communicate better with the airport staff and effectively ask any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.